What's up everyone, I'm your host Edward, and on this channel I talk about stocks and crypto news. So if that's something you're interested in, feel free to subscribe and hit that bell notification so you can see my videos every single week. Not only that, please smash that like button down below for the YouTube algorithm. But yeah, there's a mix of articles that I want to get in today regarding the crypto space and the stock market space. So let's not waste any more time and let's just dive right in. So as usual, I'm just gonna go through the markets, and today the Nasdaq is down about 1.25%, which is a heavy drop. And the reason why the stock market is fearful today is because of some world news, like what happened with Afghanistan and the Taliban. And it seems like that spooked a lot of investors. And right now it seems like a great sale day today. And if we look at our heat map, it seems like tech stocks are hit really badly today, but the value stocks or the more traditional companies are up today, like the healthcare space, the consumer defense, utilities, and industrials. But other than that, if you're really bullish on tech, it seems like a really great day to buy some shares. Obviously not financial advice. Remember to do your own due diligence and research before buying any stock. But heading into the crypto market, we are up about 1.74%, and the total crypto market cap is right now at about $2 trillion. And when it comes to the crypto space, right, like 95% of coins are usually scams, which is why we see this one down about 10% today. But right now Bitcoin is at about $46,000 and Ethereum is hovering at about $31,000 as well. And during the weekend, Bitcoin reached about $47,000, but it seems like there's a pullback mainly due to the low volumes during the weekend. But looking into the technicals, Bitcoin is still above the 200-day moving average, and it's been pretty much above it in the last 3 days. But it seems like right now we're going to be retesting it, but I'm still certain that we're probably going to see a pullback and test the lower levels to make sure that there's a lot of resistance there. But other than that, Bitcoin is still currently looking very healthy. Now going to our first article, it seems like Tesla's autopilot system is going to be probed by the US auto safety regulator. And spoiler alert, I feel like this is all FUD. The reason is because there's only 11 crashes since 2018 with the Tesla autopilot system, and it seems like most of the crashes that occurred with the autopilot system was during the dark. And right now there are millions of vehicles using the autopilot system today, and think about it, there's only 11 crashes when ICE vehicles get into crashes all the time. So I feel like they're kind of being anal about it. And we have to also consider, right, full self-driving is a new technology, but in my opinion it's already doing a lot better than what humans can do. A majority of these crashes, the driver is most likely not paying attention. But looking into Tesla stock today, it is down about 5% because of this news. And like I said, this is all FUD, and I feel like this is a great buying opportunity for those that are interested in Tesla. However, this is not financial advice. Always do your own research and due diligence, because Tesla is a little bit overvalued in my opinion. But if we look into a decade from now, obviously if you're a long-term investor, this shouldn't really worry. And there's 2 more quarters to go, so we'll see how they're gonna do. And with the Cybertruck coming very soon, I think that's gonna blow everyone's mind, because I feel like that's the next revenue stream for Tesla. And Tesla has a global presence because they do have a gigafactory in Europe and China. And I feel like electric is the future, but there are some things that they do have to consider, like charging time, and I think that's a big one and very underestimated. But yeah, I'm not gonna go through the numbers because there are a lot of stocks that I really want to get in today. So heading into the next article, seems like Nio, which is Tesla's rival, narrow losses and revenue surges about 127%. And during after hours during Thursday, it seems like the stock rose about 1%, but they did deliver about 21,000 vehicles. And for their third quarter, they gave guidance saying that they're going to deliver between 23,000 to 25,000 vehicles. So obviously, right, Nio doesn't make any profits because they are a growth stock, and right now they're mainly trying to focus on selling vehicles and upping their revenue, which is why a lot of investors were very happy, because it was a 127% year over year growth. And if we look here, they did beat their estimates. But quickly going through the valuation of Nio, right, they're trading at about $60 billion around these companies here. But personally, I would rather own something like Coinbase or pay a little cheaper for Twitter, because I feel like the valuations there with their numbers are way better than Nio. And with the EV hype still going on a little bit, I still think Nio is a little bit overvalued right now. But I do think they're second place in terms of electric vehicles. But looking into the great things about Nio is that their deliveries are trending upwards. and investors love seeing that because the trend is their friend. And right now they're in the number one EV market, which is China. So we also have to consider that. And revenues are right now skyrocketing. And all of this really reminds me of when Tesla first started. Now looking into their net income since they IPO'd, and it seems like they're almost there to generate a profit, which is super important to note. But overall, if it comes to Nio or Tesla, I would definitely rather own Tesla stock since they're very far ahead. But if you really believe Nio is going to be maybe second place and you really want exposure to EV stocks, then I mean this is not a bad choice. But I like to invest in the number one company when it comes to their market, and they won't be going bankrupt anytime soon because they have a current ratio of 2.48, meaning they do have more assets than liabilities. But in the end, not a bad stock, just a little bit overvalued, and I would rather own Tesla. So the next stock I'm going to talk about is Disney because they did beat expectations across the board, and it seems like their US parks are returning profitable now. And just looking at the key points, right, they did beat their revenue expectations, and earnings per share was 80 cents versus 55 cents, which is super important, which means they literally blew expectations away when it comes to profitability. And during after hours during that day, the stock went up about 5%, but quickly looking into the charts, we saw the big pump during their earnings, but the stock did take a breather and now it's back to what it was trading at around last Thursday. And I think the reason why the stock went down is because with all the lawsuits and the actors not being happy with the CEO recently. But all in all, this was a stock that I used to own at about $90, but I sold it for a profit, but now I'm kind of regretting it. Because if we look at this tweet here, the growth of Disney Plus is insane. And the reason why I bought into the stock was because of Disney Plus. Because in less than 2 years, Disney has already reached half of Netflix's subscribers. It just shows that they're pretty much king of content, and that content is key when it comes to streaming. So I wouldn't be surprised in the next decade if Disney does surpass Netflix's subscriber growth. And not only that, right, Disney Plus also comes with Hulu Plus and ESPN Plus, which is why Netflix is creating a lot of content recently. But overall, right, competition is healthy for this market. I'm not going to go into Disney stock because it is a value company in my opinion. But if you do believe in content and if you're bullish about it, then I think Disney and Netflix are a great pickup. Now next in the article, it seems like Walmart is seeking to hire a digital cryptocurrency lead. And I feel like they're playing catch up with Amazon because recently they had a similar posting. Even though Amazon came out and said that they're not looking to accept Bitcoin anytime soon, but later down the road, I feel like it's inevitable, especially with other countries looking to make Bitcoin a legal tender. But overall, there's super exciting news and it's giving a lot of hints. And whoever's first, I feel like they're gonna lead the way and pave the way for other companies. So the last crypto news I want to talk about is that the chip giant Intel owns Coinbase shares. And the reason why Intel had to let people know about this, because if we look down here, they own more than $100 million worth of publicly traded investments, which is why they have to be transparent about their investments. And right now, I think they have a 5% stake into Coinbase, but Intel definitely knows that mining crypto is super important, which is probably why they invested into this company, and it's a great indirect play into Bitcoin. I don't think Intel has the guts to put Bitcoin on their balance sheet yet, but in my opinion, I feel like Square is a better indirect play than Coinbase, especially with a lot of things going on with Square and their hardware wallet. And I think that's going to be their next revenue stream that's going to take off. But other than that, that's just my quick opinion on this one. Next, Airbnb shares fall after company reports revenue jump off 300%, but warns about the Delta variant. In my opinion, I think Airbnb is right now sandbagging their guidance because you don't want to overestimate and not reach those targets, because that's just gonna piss off a lot of investors. So that's why shares fell down about 4% today, and I did a whole entire video on Airbnb stock. But looking at the key points, they had a loss of 11 cents per share, meaning their profits did decline, but they did beat revenue expectations, and the valuation right now is similar to when they IPO'd at about 139. Not far off, but I feel like once the Delta variant is over and the whole entire pandemic is done, this company should be worth at about $200 billion in my opinion. They were valued at about 120 to 150 billion dollars, but right now they're only worth about 91, and the travel industry is still trying to recover. But long term, if I were still back into stocks, this is probably a company that will be in my portfolio for the next decade or so. That's my quick take on Airbnb. And lastly, Richard Branson dumps about $300 million worth of Virgin Galactic stake last week. And looking into the stock, when the news broke out, the stock did dump and a lot of Wall Street analysts are pissed off and downgraded it because there's a lack of planned flights as the company begins a months-long maintenance update. So based on that key point, it does worry a lot of investors because they're eagerly waiting for the revenues to come in. And when the founder usually dumps the stock, it's not a big deal in my opinion, unless they're selling aggressively. That's a big problem. I think there's just a little bit of FUD. But if you're very bullish in the space tourism sector, there's the only play that you can kind of invest in right now. But other than that, there's a super highly speculative play. I feel like you should do a lot of research before purchasing any Virgin Galactic stock. I did multiple videos about Virgin Galactic, so if you're interested, feel free to watch those videos after this one. That wraps up for this video. If you're interested in buying crypto, please head into my referral links in the description box down below, and we can both get a small cash bonus once you sign up and make some trades. If you enjoyed this video, please smash that like button down below for your YouTube algorithm. And if you haven't already, feel free to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can see my videos every single week. That's pretty much it, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.